Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Week 8, Sunday morning, PME, live! We got rankings, we got injuries, we got updated spreads, and I do want to let everyone out there know, please, smash that like button so we can continue to come to you live and free every Sunday morning. And don't forget there's a live Monday morning show as well. Every show will be available after the fact, on demand, on the DraftKings YouTube channel. And if you don't care to listen to us right now for this hour and you want to tune in around like 11:30, just download the podcast on iTunes, on Stitcher. Leave a review while you're there. The first hour will be up there before the games go locked. So if you want to go to the gym, you want to make some brunch, you woke up early because you woke up late because you're hungover, you were at a Halloween party, you can do all that fun stuff too. Just do both. But remember, smash that like button. And I do want to let everyone know the odds and lines are subject to change. See website for actual odds. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Garion Thorne is in studio.
Hello.
Fresh off a night of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well, updating the DK Live app.
Yeah. Not so great when you say it with words out loud, but yeah, fun times.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to run through a quick injury report here, and today we're going to go game by game, break down the injuries again. It provides a bit more structure than just yelling at Tim the entire time.
I would say so.
So, at running back, Chris Thompson, Kerryon Johnson, Matt Breida, Chris Ivory, Peyton Barber, and LaShawn McCoy now are all inside my rankings. You can find those in the description of this video or up on dkplaybook.com or on my Facebook page. Dalvin Cook, Elijah McGuire, he's eligible to return next week. Bell, Royce Freeman, Gio Bernard, Theo Riddick, Darren Sproles, all out. Sony Michel not looking like he's going to play, right?
Yeah, it's doubtful right now.
He returned to a limited basis on Saturday.
Which means
it didn't.
all the James White.
All the Joe, the Ken John Barner.
I don't know.
Probably not, right?
Probably not.
So at receiver, we are looking at Seth Roberts, Geronimo Allison, Randall Cobb, and P. Rich. Paul Richardson being in. John Ross, Rashard Higgins, Jamison Crowder, Ryan Grant, Torrey Smith, and Pierre Garçon all officially ruled out. Cooper Kupp, Robbie Andercust, and Allen Robinson probably not going to play. Robinson, late ad during the week, has the groin injury. Doubtful now.
Yeah.
Doubtful usually means out, as I've seen.
Yeah.
In the past.
And it was like a Schefter. That dropped last night that he was...
In case people don't know.
Most assuredly
The
not
rankings
gonna
are
play.
updated for him to be out. So I bumped up Anthony Miller a bit. I bumped up Gabriel a bit. And Kevin White made the rankings. Don't play Kevin White.
Caught a pass.
Yeah, sweet.
Good for Kevin White.
Josh Rosen. Do we have any word on Josh Rosen? He's going to play.
He was trending in the right direction as of Wednesday. I think he practiced in full the last couple days.
So we're getting Josh Rosen. We're not getting Josh Allen on Monday night. We're getting more Derek Andercust and Gronk, Ed Dixon, Ricky Seals-Jones, AJ Derby, and Jack Doyle, all likely to play. Nick Vannett, couldn't find a single word on him this week. I just assume he's out. Maybe he's playing. I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, I think Dixon's back, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean Vanette's not going to play.
No, but I'm just saying it wouldn't really matter in terms of...
I have him
points
just
anyway.
listed as probably out, so I didn't have to rank him.
That's
I
fair.
don't know if he's playing. And Jermaine Gresham popped up on Friday with a heel injury. Heel? Running up them heels? Maybe how he got the heel injury. I don't
Possibly.
know. But he's like a legit game time decision in the late set of games for Arizona. It's not that you were going to play Jermaine Gresham, but if he doesn't play, Ricky Seals-Jones could play every single snap. And if you woke up, if you can edit your lineups for the Sunday game, James O'Shaughnessy isn't playing. And David Grinnage already has a catch. The Gringe. That's what you could have won as, the Gringe.
I could have gone as the Grinch.
Yeah,
The Cumberbatch version?
exactly.
There we go.
All right, let's bring in the third member of the show to go game by game and break this all down. Fresh off his appearance last night at a party as Augustus Caesar, or Celibate Caligula, as I like to say.
There you go.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. Anyway, it is a Tim Andercust.
Tim Andercust.
Not my name.
Were you Celibate Caligula?
No, I was Julius Caesar. As I said on
Augustus
Twitter,
Caesar?
I came, I saw, I ate Olive Garden.
So was like the party catered by Olive Garden?
No,
No, it's just a clever saying.
Oh.
it's not that clever.
I see now.
It's more sad than anything.
gonna say-
Sad.
Really funny.
Wasn't really a pun or, you know, it was something literal enough where I feel like people wouldn't take it as a joke.
I see we're at 26 likes right now. We're going to run through 5 of the first questions in the chat. We're going to get to the question and answer period around 11, maybe 10:55. We'll see. But if we can get it over 50 by the time I finish the 5 questions, we'll do 5 more. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
First one for you. Jared Cook or Gronk? I would play Gronk. I would never play Jared
I think considering how he's progressed throughout the week, I would just wait out Gronk.
Tim?
Yes, Gronk. Jared Cook's the worst.
There we go. Would you play in a half-point PPR? Michael Crabtree, Jalen Rocket Richard, or Jermaine Kearse? I play Crabtree.
Yeah, I think it's still Crabtree.
Yeah, I agree.
Full point, we could maybe talk about Richard, but it's Crabtree.
Is Snacks Harrison playing today, given he was traded midweek? Can't find any news on this. Makes a big difference whether I want to play Chris Carson or Chubb. I actually couldn't find much on it either. I saw reports that he was in Detroit, because I was more or less thinking of it from a New York Giants perspective, how this opens up running lanes for Adrian Peterson this week.
Sure.
And I wasn't really thinking about it from the Seattle point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there would be some worry here, but I would assume that a veteran player like that, especially a nose tackle, like I know there are defensive schemes, but his basic job is to just ingest 3 interior linemen. I feel like he's going to play, but...
According to Lions.com, Patricia said he's not sure how soon Harrison will be able to contribute. The Lions are hoping to have their new addition on the field for Sunday's game against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll know that, though. He'll be a part of the
Again,
actives
I would
and
just
inactives.
say, of all the possible defensive positions you could play, I would assume nose tackle requires probably the least amount of knowledge of the defensive playbook.
Stand there, fatty.
Just
Make sure no one gets by
take
ya.
up 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Do that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
All right, let's see. Chubb, Richard, Ronald Jones, or Hyde? I mean, Hyde's already playing, so you probably don't want to play him.
That's tough biz.
I would play Chubb of those guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
Tim?
Yeah, I would play Richard.
Do you play Richard over Chubb?
Yeah, I mean, Chubb had a terrible game minus 2 short touchdowns last week. He's not
Yeah,
that
but
good.
that's going to be his thing, though.
He had 84 yards and 2 touchdowns? Yeah, he sucks.
84
Thanks.
yards. Like, that ain't nothing to write home about. I'll take Richard.
Okay, in fairness, I love Rocket Richard. Has he gotten over 84 yards ever in a game?
Yeah, he had that one, 80-yard touchdown.
Oh,
last
yes,
season.
that's right.
Yeah.
Everybody can run on Indianapolis.
But he doesn't run. He catches.
Actually, everyone who is a running back can catch passes on Indianapolis. I like Jalen Richard a lot this week. I love him in DraftKings, but I would, in an actual season-long league, I would play Chubb.
Oh, we got over the 50. If we get over 75 here, we'll answer another 5 right off the top before we get into the
I'm all
game.
monitoring things. Don't worry.
Thank you, by the way, for submitting all your Tim as a hall monitor.
Tim as a hall
pictures.
monitor really worked out.
Very
Enough
good.
people did not tweet pictures of peacocks at Tim, though.
That you don't know that. Many of them
That's true. I didn't look into it. I just saw the ones that were I was also tagged in. That's pretty good.
That wasn't all of them, sir.
Was Dom at the party last night?
No, she was not.
I'm gonna say she Instagrammed me a picture of a peacock and
That's terrible.
tried to tag you in it. DK cash games, Richard or Crowell? It's probably Richard. He has the safer floor. I like Crowell though in this game.
I don't like Crowell, so I'm going to say Richard.
Tim, you're the
Oh,
tiebreaker.
yeah, I don't like Noel either. I don't see him doing much or anyone on that offense doing much today. I'll go with Richard.
Oh, see, he's sandbagging the Jets today. Jamal Williams or Duke Johnson? I would play Duke Johnson.
I would too.
Yeah, Duke.
Luck or Goff? No idea which one will go off. I get it. That's a real conundrum.
Yeah, I would still probably just lean Luck. I mean, Goff hasn't thrown 30 passes in 2 weeks. Granted, this might be a game where he actually is forced into second half responsibilities, but they're still 9.5-point favorites against the Packers.
He says he needs a big QB game because he played against the Watson-Fuller stack. That's rough. I'm up against one of those, and I'm down by 50 already.
I would go with Luck. I just think there's a higher ceiling with Luck.
I'll play Luck too. Tim?
I would go with Goff. I mean, he's going up against a defense where C.J. Beathard 2 weeks ago put up 30 points against them. I'll take Goff.
It's the whole terrifying part is just, does Gurley score 8 touchdowns?
That's the thing. I just think that there's a scenario here where Goff is probably the higher floor play, even though Luck's been perfectly fine this season. But yeah, if one of these guys is scoring 5 of their team's touchdowns, it's Andrew Luck.
No, you see, I think Luck has the better floor. Luck has just been good every week, and he throws 55 times.
Goff had the 1 week against Denver, but he's been fine every other week.
Yes, but I think Luck's like number 2 in fantasy.
Oh yeah, he's been fantastic because he throws the ball.
So play
a
Luck. Just
ton.
play Luck. He's just constantly throwing the ball. Greg Olsen or Jack Doyle? I would play Greg Olsen even in the bad matchup. I don't know what to expect from Jack Doyle. Okay. This guy says he's not on the Chubb bandwagon. Timmy's with you. He sucks.
I don't think he sucks. I just think he's really, really overrated, and I don't like him that much.
The problem though is when he has good weeks, they're all going to follow the exact same script because he's a first and second down running back. Good weeks, he's going to score touchdowns. Bad weeks, he's not going to score touchdowns. It's kind of how it goes.
Would you play Mozart or Mostert, as people like to say, or Kenyon Barner? I would play Mostert.
Yeah, I think Mostert is at least guaranteed double-digit touches in this game.
Yeah, with Breda, we talked about this right before we came on. I bumped Brady down in my running back rankings because he's going to play, but he's going to be limited. That probably means he gets like 38 touches.
Yeah.
Because every time he's like, oh yeah, he's off the injury report, he just gets hurt and then leaves the game every time that he's supposed to be hurt and comes in, he's great.
It seemed though, even when he was, seemed like he was healthy at the start of last week's game, like Mostert was still being worked in. So I think this is still a split. Like, I think that even if Breda was 100% not on the injury report, Mostert would still be guaranteed 10 touches. So I'm fine with it.
Tim, would you play CJ Guilty Beathard and George Kittle Me Timbers in cash games on DK? I personally would not.
I would. I think the Niners are going to have the better of things today, so I actually don't mind.
Why would you play those guys in cash games? That's craziness.
Yeah.
They could connect for a big day.
Yeah, but even Kittle in a cash game is so expensive. He's the second highest priced tight end that you could just use Njoku. Like, save $900 for a tight end who's in a
Or
similar
just don't
position with
use
a similar volume
Beathard.
share.
Use someone good.
Well, that's the thing. Don't use Beathard, but I'm saying at least Kittle has probably deserved the right to be in the conversation.
Sure, but he's too
about cash,
expensive.
But he's too expensive.
Yeah,
so
use
Okay,
Uzomah.
well, I was
Yeah.
asked, and I don't have a problem with it.
Seems crazy, though. There seems to be no reason for that. Would you play the Colts defense or the Ravens defense? I like the Ravens defense.
Baltimore, yes.
yeah, just play your best defense.
Let's see. Oh, we're at 75. We got 5 more now. AP or Mac? You get to 100. 100 likes. We'll do 5 more before we actually start the show. AP or Mac? I would play AP.
Yeah, it's AP.
It's an AP week.
There it is.
I like that.
AP
Here we go.
Science.
I actually don't hate Mac. Do you have any sort of take on Mac?
I'm fine with him. It's just in that particular matchup, the injury designation worries me a little bit. But I think if you own Mac and he's active, yeah, he's an RB2.
Tyler Boyd or John Brown, PPR? I play Boyd.
Boyd, yeah.
Brown.
Brown, okay. Mozart or Crowell on DraftKings? I would play Crowell.
Rock me Amadeus. I'll take Mozart.
On DraftKings, I would just play someone else.
You can play Richard for...
Yeah, find the money to play Richard. Like
I mean,
really
I have
like
no
either
problem.
of those
I
guys.
am playing Crowell, so...
I am not. I'm avoiding Crowell at all
I mean,
costs.
if I told you that one of those guys scored a touchdown this week, which one would it be?
Crowell, but again, I just don't think it's a situation where they're going to be in many positions to score a touchdown against that Bears defense.
Peyton Barber or Kenny Galladay? It's clearly Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, that is Kenny Galladay
Yes.
by a wide margin.
It is.
Funchess or Baldwin? Half point. Baldwin.
Alderman.
Geronimo or Larry Fitz?
Geronimo.
That's a huge gap for me.
Even
Gap. Geronimo, gap. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop appropriating my lines.
Gordon or Crabtree in a standard league? I like Crabtree.
Yeah, it's a tough individual matchup for Gordon Crabtree.
If White ends up shadowing Gordon, which I would assume.
He has been. You would think so, yeah.
Carryon Johnson or Tyler Boyd? I would take Tyler Boyd. We're at 95 right now. You got 15 seconds to get this over 100 likes, or else we're starting the show.
I would agree.
People don't want to watch the show. They're giving us too many likes. AP or Latavius Murray? I would play Latavius Murray.
That's what I.
Peterson. We already did Richard or Chubb. I went with Chubb. So did you. I think Tim went with Rocket Richard.
Yep.
Even in a PPR. Yeah. Randall Cobb or John Brown? I would play John Brown.
John Brown.
Oh, we got 2 likes taken away.
Oh.
Breeze or Winston? Breeze.
Drew Brees.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not
play
afraid of
Brees.
Minnesota defense, and you shouldn't be either.
Yeah,
That's true. Their
It's
passing
indoors.
defense has been
I like Winston this week too. That's a good
Yeah.
problem to have. Christian Kirk or Taylor Gabriel? Taylor Gabriel. No Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
Just
that's
gamble
true.
on
He
that.
should have double-digit targets.
I mean, Christian Kirk is the king of 6 for 70
Yeah.
with no touchdowns. Gabriel could, not hit that floor, but he could go 4x that.
Yeah, like look, I don't dislike playing Kirk and DK this week just as a flyer, but to this point in the season, not a single Cardinals receiver has scored 20 DK points. That seems like a problem. That seems like not something you want to invest in.
Chubb or Breda? Chubb.
Yeah, Chubb, I guess, in that spot.
Chubb or Geronimo?
I think still Chubb.
I'll take
I'll
Chubb.
take Allison.
I'll take Chubb. I think that is close, though. Ebron or Doyle? Need to drop one, thinking Doyle long term. I think I would just keep Ebron.
Yeah,
He catches touchdowns.
He's been amazing.
But
I know
now-
Doyle is going to be involved, but this probably breaks down a lot like the Tampa Bay tight end situation from the last couple of years. But I think Ebron might just be the higher ceiling player. And at tight end, I'm willing to do that, where they both probably have enough of a floor where they're going to be top 15 tight ends each week. Andrew Luck loves throwing to tight ends, and he's the highest volume quarterback.
And there's
in
no
football.
Eric Swoop anymore.
Poor Swoopsy.
I know. Galladay or Richard? Galladay.
Galladay.
This is also non PPR.
Oh, then Galladay, yeah.
Doug Baldwin or Carryon Johnson?
Carry on,
Doug
but it's
Baldwin.
close.
Yeah, I'll take Carryon there. That is really close. Should I trade Miller and Diggs for Hopkins?
Yes.
I would too, man. No Will Fuller. That's like 38 targets a game. Why
I'm
don't you take
generally just
38?
down with getting the best player in a 2-for-1 trade.
Okay, we got 3 more here, right? Godwin or Sutton? I'm going Godwin.
Godwin.
Yeah, sure.
Pick 2, Standard League. Mixon, James White, Tariq Cohen. I'll go White and Mixon.
Yeah. It's a good problem
White
to have,
and
though.
Cohen.
White and Cohen, you wouldn't play Mixon in a standard in a standard league.
Oh, standard. Well, who am I benching? No, White and Cohen. I'm not benching either White or Cohen.
All right,
White is a must start. So
I agree. Marvin Jones or Cortland Sutton? Play Marv.
Just play Marv.
Marv.
Last one, because we didn't get to the next threshold. Deshaun Jackson or Taylor Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Sledgehammer.
So, Tim, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about here. Deshaun Jackson has demanded a trade. How does that impact his fantasy performance today? Big day or bad day?
I think, if anything, it probably hurts him a little bit.
Because I'm playing a lot of Godwin.
I think that's fair.
I think he should come to New York, and I think the Jets should trade for him.
How many washed up receivers do you guys need?
Well, several, because almost all of them are hurt.
That's the problem with really investing in washed up players. They tend to not be the
Well, they
healthiest.
didn't really invest in them. They were dirt cheap. Every receiver is not making much money.
That is true.
All right, so we will start getting back to the questions around the 11 a.m. hour at the top of the hour, maybe a little bit before. But let's get into these games. Baltimore at Carolina, plus 2.5. This opened at 2. It is now 2.5. The over-under is 44.5. No major injuries, really, of concern. And outside of Cam, McCaffrey, and John Brown, are there any must-starts in this game? And even Cam's not a great start, but you're starting Cam.
There's probably a situation where your hand is forced on Collins.
Collins, Funchess, Olsen would be, and Crabtree would be the periphery guys?
Yeah, I would say just in terms of positional or lack thereof positional depth, I think Collins and Olsen are probably situations where you might be forced to play them, and I'm fine with that. I think they're both fringe top 24, top 12 at their respective positions, so that's fine. But yeah, those are the only 3 lock-em-in guys, as you mentioned.
Ravens D?
I would still play Ravens D, yeah.
Tim, do you have any love for Carolina's D?
Not particularly, no.
Is there anyone else you can really think of making a case for? Like, if you had to play Buck Allen, it doesn't seem like the worst spot for him. Do you think this game goes?
No.
Do you think this is a high-scoring game or low-scoring game? I could see it being a high-scoring game.
I don't see it. I think it's
Yeah.
like a 17-13 sort of game.
I think it's higher scoring than that. I think both teams get to the 20s, but I would say like 27, 21, something along those lines. So I think it'll go over, but
I'm just trying to think, like, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I can probably go look it up as we speak.
Carolina tends to go over a lot.
Carolina tends to go over at home. Like, their defense isn't that good at home. It's weird. Like, they gave up. How many did they give up to the Giants, Tim?
31.
33.
That's a lot. That's the
Wasn't
Giants.
it? Wasn't
No,
the final
31.
Yeah, it was 33-31 was the final score.
But, like, they're terrible.
Yeah, but that was a
But
lot of
they
like
held-
gimmicky stuff. It was a strange sort of game
So
script.
16-8 week 1 against the Cowboys. That's when the Cowboys had been, I think they had played 17 straight unders. Now they don't do that so much anymore.
Yeah.
So the next game at home was the Bengals, 31-21, 33-31 were their next 2 games at home. Like, the Ravens are tough to score on. I think Carolina will be able to put up points, though. I just don't love any of their, I guess, you know what? Torrey Smith is out for them in this game, meaning Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore can get some extra run. They'll just be on the field more.
Yeah, I just feel like choosing between
You're
the
not
2
gonna
of
choose
those.
You're
Yeah.
not playing.
I do love how Curtis Samuel now has more rushing touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey for the season, though.
Will Christian McCaffrey if I set the over-under at 3.5 rushing touchdowns, you would take the under, right?
Yeah, take the under.
Tim would be.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's really at this point no different than looking at. I mean, I know the Jets' backfield won't operate this way anymore, but you know, having Bilal Powell score a bunch of touchdowns. Like when you're in a system where you are not the goal line back, and Cam is the goal line back, clearly, it's hard to just say take the over.
You know, this game opened as a pick'em.
Makes sense.
Sense, yeah.
Opened as a pick. The money is coming on the Panthers in this matchup. As Jeff pointed out on Wednesday's show, they are a publicly backed home underdog.
Yeah, it is. It's a square pick for sure.
That's not good. That's not what you want to see.
Not generally, no.
All right, next game. Let's move to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Is it windy or rainy or anything? It doesn't seem
I'm
to be,
not
does it?
seeing anything of significance, no.
So the line right now is -8.5 for Pittsburgh. 48 is the over/under. Obviously, no Le'Veon Bell, but again, this is a game that's pretty outside of Rashard Higgins not playing and Ratley Damian Ratley, the Rattler, getting some run 3 wide receiver sets. You got your full complement of players in this game too. I like Steelers D, but I think everyone likes Steelers D. They're going to be the chalkiest of all defenses on DraftKings at $2,300.
Yeah, it's just too cheap. I look, there's not a ton to say here. In season-long formats, you're definitely starting Antonio Brown. I don't love Brown in DK this week.
I'm playing a lot of Juju.
Yeah, I am also playing a lot of Juju. I just think that we're not at the point quite where Denzel Ward is creating a full funnel effect, but he's Pro Football Focus's number 3 coverage corner. People are going to throw out the stats that Antonio Brown had a decent game against him. That was week 1. That was his first career.
Stats are for losers.
Well, apparently.
Don't even believe them. All stats are fake news. I heard that.
But I just don't think it's a great spot for him. And really, Brown hasn't been hyper efficient this season. He's averaging the exact same yards per target as Jarvis Landry. Really not something you want to do.
No, but he's still he's a top 3 scoring wide receiver.
Sure, he's fine.
He gets his.
Yes, I'm saying, again, in a season-long format, you're not benching Antonio Brown. I'm staying away on DK.
Tim, you hate Chubb. Does that mean you would play Duke over Chubb at a PPR? Because I would not.
Well, yeah, probably I would.
Really?
I don't like Chubb. I don't think he's good.
Why don't you think he's good?
I saw him play in college. I was underwhelmed to begin with, and I just think the Browns don't have the Browns such a terrible offense that I don't think they can support and give him what he needs in order to succeed. Like, he's got a quarterback who's hurt. He's got an offense who's incredibly inefficient and just doesn't have any idea what it's doing. Like, there's no part of a Browns offense right now you should be interested in. They're just not, other than Njoku. But even he's, surviving despite all the horribleness that offense is surrounding with. So it's not positive.
Well, how much of this offense has just been killed by drops? They lead the league in drops by a wide margin.
That's part of it.
So just
The other part is they're getting nothing from their quarterback.
Again, I wouldn't say they're among the worst offenses in football.
You see, neither would
Well, by
I.
the
I think
numbers
they're
they
a
are.
league average offense.
I think they're the 30th by DVOA in offense.
Fair, but
31st.
that is also dragged down by their first 3 games, for which Baker Mayfield was not the quarterback. Not that he's a significant upgrade from Tyrod Taylor, but they were putrid the first 3 games of the season. I just think they've been
Not true.
fine.
They scored 21 against the Steelers, 22 against the Saints.
They did not score 20 against the Steelers. Their defense scored one of those touchdowns and also set up the other one at the 1-yard line.
Boom! In your face!
I don't buy it. I think the offense has been bad with him. It's been bad with Taylor. I don't see a difference between the two. This is what you do when you set a first-round pick on
You just
fire.
said it wasn't bad with Taylor.
See, now he's just mad because Baker Mayfield was named NFL Rookie of the Week, and Safe Space Sam was not because he was too busy tending to his sympathy peacock.
It's unfortunate because I think
my therapy peacock to calm me down.
I think Sam Darnold could have really used that positive reinforcement.
He really could have. You got to be nice.
Is there
to
some
him.
sort of participation Rookie of the Week that they could have given him?
Tim, did you give him one? You and Postmaster Ted? Did you go to Sam's house after the fact and give him a participation good effort ribbon?
Yeah, you guys are all so clever. Yeah, I'm not even going to fall into your trap. I'm too clever for that.
Okay, 83% of the cash bet on this game coming in on the Steelers.
Not
79% of spread picks coming in on the Steelers.
That is a little more shocking. I kind of like the Browns.
I like the Browns here
Yeah.
too to keep it close. I don't know if they win, but 8.5's now a lot.
You know, they
There's
seem
a-
to be good at keeping games close. I don't know if you or anyone else has picked up on this.
I have.
Browns play a lot of close games.
I looked at the scores of their game, all pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for that game where they beat the Jets. That was pretty funny. Next game.
What are you
Let's.
talking about? That? Anyway, whatever.
Did they beat the Jets?
Yeah, it was a close game.
Oh yeah, it was so close that the Jets couldn't
3-point
win.
game.
Denver and Kansas City. The Broncos are without Royce Freeman. So how does this shake down in the backfield? Everyone's just penciling in Philip Lindsay. Put him in your top 10 rankings. I have him at number 10 in my running back rankings. He's $5,200 on DraftKings. Going to be like 25% owned.
Yeah.
What is the split between him and Devontae Booker?
I would guess somewhere on the lines of 70-30.
Because it's a 10-point spread right now.
I truly believe he's... Seeley brought this up when we were talking about the Lions backfield a couple weeks ago.
The mattress man?
Yes, the mattress man. I think his role is very akin to that of Garion Johnson, where it's Lindsey's role in this offense really wasn't distorted on game script from a week-to-week basis, where, we saw a little bit more Booker if they were behind, we saw a little bit more Freeman if they were ahead. I don't think Booker's role is necessarily going to change. I just think that Lindsey becomes the first and second down back for most of this game, but someone who can also just stay on the field and be a third down back. So I would still say 70-30.
Right now, 77% of the money is on the Chiefs.
Kansas City is my super lock at -10.
That is. Tim loves Kansas City this week.
Wow.
They cover every number every week. At this point, you're a dummy if you don't back them until they stop covering it.
I mean,
fair.
the last time I bet on the Broncos against the Chiefs, the Broncos actually covered, so that was nice.
Nope.
Yeah,
they did not.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they
7-0
did.
against
Yeah,
the spread.
yeah. Because you're talking about because that line dropped down to 3.5 by the time kickoff came. Not betting that game before kickoff. You kidding me? It's just why it's why you lost it on the show, because you picked Kansas City and they did not cover the spread on the Thursday.
They are 7-0 ATS this year.
Yes, because they covered the 3.5 before the game started on the Monday night.
Okay.
It was
Like, then
when we bet the spread, when we picked the spread, it was 6.5.
10 points is not enough for this team. It's actually a bad number, and the books need Denver bad.
I mean, yeah, they probably do. And
Because both public and sharp money are on the Chiefs.
well, I mean, all the money is basically on the Chiefs, and the line moved from 8.5 to 10 on Monday, and it hasn't moved since. So
Yeah, well,
be
that's
wary. Be wary on that one. The only other thing is, could you play Booker in a PPR league?
I'd try to avoid it.
I don't think he's a terrible play. I think you could mine like 5 catches out of him. Like, what if you had like Booker and Naheem Hines?
Oh, I'd rather play Booker, sure. But I would say at this point, if you're still someone who's had to start Naeem Hines the last 3 weeks,
Since Matt came back.
yeah, your season is probably not at a point where we need to be giving you the most pressing, dire information. You've probably found a replacement, I would think. But yeah, sure, in that particular scenario, fine. Booker's okay.
I mean, there's a couple guys here. Like, what if you had to play like LeGarrette Blount in a PPR or Devontae Booker? I'd play Booker.
I think I'd rather play LeGarrette.
Would you rather play Matt Breida or Devontae Booker?
Breida.
I would play Booker.
I would play Breida.
I'm not getting 0 points from Matt Breida. And I know that Devontae Booker is a non-zero player.
Sure, but he's probably like a 6 player.
Not in a PPR, he's not. He's probably like an 8 to 12.
Well,
What are you going to go look at? What he's done?
Yeah.
Well, there's no Royce Freeman.
again, I don't think his role changes.
So he's just not going to play anymore.
No.
He's been playing 35% of the snaps as it is. He's just going to continue to play 35% of the snaps.
Why would you change it? What has he done to earn more snaps?
I think it's more of an indictment on Lindsey, that they don't want Lindsey out there for 65, 70%. If not, why wouldn't you just use him that way
And he
anyway?
played 65% of the snaps last week.
You think it's going to happen again?
Again, you just said it. They don't want him out there for that. He was
But they were
perfectly fine. He
also
was
but they
capable.
were also up by 40 that entire game. That's the non-Devonta Booker script. He is the behind back.
I think he's just the worst back.
I don't even know about that. Lindsey looks like the better back.
Look, we've got a 2.5-year sample of Devontae Booker truthing. He's
Sure,
not-
but
he's not good
every
at
time
football.
that he makes an impact, they're way behind in games. That's when they put him on the field.
I don't see his role changing. You're right. He could catch 5 passes, but I think even if he does that, we're looking at like 8 points. Congratulations. He's not getting a goal line carry. I don't think he gets a goal line catch. I just don't see it.
All right. I mean, if you're going to play most of the game in garbage time, getting catches, that's not terrible. It's basically the same reason everyone's playing Rocket Richard this week.
So you have the Chiefs -10 then.
No, I don't. I have the Broncos.
So you have a backdoor cover? Where's this garbage time coming from?
Yeah, the Chiefs score 30, the Broncos score 21.
Okay.
So they're coming back. the
Very
entire-
specific script.
I mean, you still have to go by what's going on. Even if, let's say I think they lose by 7. Still down by 7. Still down by a touchdown.
Fair. I wouldn't call that garbage time though.
For the Broncos, everything's basically garbage time.
That's a good point.
And unless they're scoring on defense. All right, Tim, Jets and Bears. The Jets opened at +7. They're now +9.5. This is the win game.
Yeah. Still weird
God.
though.
Not in Chicago.
Yeah, I know, right? The total has plummeted, but the Jets have expanded on the spread. I don't see how that correlates.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess the thought process is the Bears are just going to win by more, and the Jets are going to score less. Then who knows? I don't know. The Jets are going to struggle to get to 17 in this game. I don't think they even get there. So I don't know. I think the Bears are the way to play. Even at 9.5, you're not getting the best of the number here, but you could still take them. I think 9.5 is a pretty dead number. So
It is -10 in some spots now, and 41.5 is the over/under.
Yeah, doesn't seem
at -10, I certainly wouldn't bet the Jets, but I wouldn't bet the Bears either. That's just
that's a stay away.
I like the Jets at 7.5 to begin with. Like, what are we seeing from Chicago that leads us to believe that they're great?
I don't know. They just went toe-to-toe with the Patriots, and if it weren't for two special teams blunders, would have beaten them. Like, that's pretty impressive.
I just feel like I don't want to take the Bears by more than a touchdown. I think they win this game.
Yeah, they win by
But
3.
I'm along the lines of what Tim's saying. I
Bad
think
weather,
this is
bad offense.
just a
No
low-scoring
Allen
game.
Robinson on one side of the ball. Bilal Powell, Quincy Enunwa, Robbie Anderson all out for the Jets. So, Tim, how do you think the backfield breaks down? Crowell and Cannon?
Yeah, I think it'll just be mostly all Crowell, like 85% Crowell. Like
Yeah, that's good news.
everyone else had like
$3,700.
That would be bad for my my thought process here, but
Like Max dinged up,
yeah.
and Safe Space Sam has a restraining order on anyone coming into his safe space in the
All right,
backfield.
It's a good way to not be
all
sad.
Well, he's too triggered. You can't get in his face. It makes him feel
He's
bad.
unflappable, and that's what annoys you most. That he's not bothered by these things. The wins and the losses don't matter right now. It's all about just him.
What, are you not? Like, are you eating like pretzels or something?
No,
What are you eating?
I'm not eating any.
What are you shuffling around? Are you chewing on tinfoil?
He's eating some yogurt.
Is it just that plain hipster millennial yogurt that you were talking about from Iceland?
Yes, it is Icelandic yogurt.
Are you eating with anything? Why are you eating during the show?
I thought I usually put myself on mute when I do that. I must have forgot. Sorry.
So I like the Jets and the points in this matchup. I think it's close. I think both teams run. I think you might see more Jordan Howard than you expect in this game.
I was about to say I really
It
like
would
Jordan.
be a Jordan Howard script.
You really like Jordan Howard in this game, but earlier when we were talking about it, you picked Cohen over Joe Mixon.
I like both. Oh, I like everything on the Bears side of things.
You're trying
I think-
so hard to curse the poor Bears, aren't you?
No. I just think that the Bears could score 35 and the Jets could score 10. Like I think this is going to be a beatdown.
It's a lot of points.
35. How do you think the
That's not that many points. They scored a ton of points the last few weeks. Like
You're not wrong. They have moved the ball on offense the last couple of weeks.
I mean, they played against the Patriots defense, which notably is
They
not
scored a
good.
ton
And the
against the
Dolphins
Patriots.
defense, which
They
is
scored
terrible.
a ton against Tampa. They scored a ton against the Packers. Like this team can score points.
You just mentioned 3 of the 5 worst defenses in football.
Well, the Jets defense is not looking all that great these days. Last time that I looked,
Oh.
a very mediocre Vikings team beat them up. They got
Mediocre Vikings team. All right, okay, let's hear it. So you think that the Bears offense is better than the Vikings offense?
I think there are a few offenses more overrated than the Vikings offense. Yes, I mean I think the Bears have, outside of Thielen, I think the Bears have better weapons.
Well, Allen Robinson's not playing.
That is a problem, but again, they can just rely on their running back. The Jets are going to make stupid mistakes. There'll be turnovers. There'll be short fields. I can see Sam throwing 1 or 2 picks. Wouldn't shock me in the least. I think it's crazy to take the Jets right now. That team is just not in a good spot. Everything points against them. The Bears need this game desperately. They're going to get it.
Fantasy-wise in this game, Garion, where do you see the goodness? Bears receivers?
I would say Gabriel is probably.
Would you
someone
fire
we've
up
already
some
talked
super
about.
cheap Anthony Miller? Does Trey Burton get a bump because there's no Allen Robinson?
I could see that. I could see the volume share ticking up a little bit for him. I mean, he was already utilized in the red zone, which considering before the Patriot game how low his volume share in this offense was, at least some of that volume was coming in the red zone. Yeah, I think Burton, Gabriel.
Miller to a lesser extent.
Miller to a lesser extent,
needed
sure.
someone. I played him in a lineup.
I think probably in most leagues you're going to be forced to play both Bears running backs. I'm just trying to think of a Jet that I would, curse. I'm not playing Crowell.
I'm playing Crowell. I'm in a couple DraftKings lineups. I'm playing Chris Herndon the fourth.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Herndon or Leggett this week. If you're
Why like it? He doesn't get targets.
Yeah, he does. He's going to. They have no
Did you
receivers.
know that Leggett is trailing James O'Shaughnessy in fantasy points, and James O'Shaughnessy hasn't played in 2 weeks?
Yes, I am very aware of that fact.
Are you excited to lose that money to me?
Yeah, it's $50. I'll win. I'll win other bets.
No, that's a 10-1, sir.
No, it's not a 10-1. The 10-1 was Vernon Davis.
Oh yeah, Vernon Davis's
Yeah.
best game versus Jordan Leggett's entire season. Vernon Davis is currently winning.
I don't know that he is. I actually think Leggett is winning.
Yeah, I don't believe that he is. I
I
believe.
don't think VD's had a big day yet.
Yeah, he had the one big game.
Yeah. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he had like 20 points. Okay, so Could you talk yourself into playing Cannon? $3,300, I think he is.
Not really. Again, I just think I'm steering clear of this running back situation. I would say that I'd prefer to play Crowell than Cannon, which I don't think is crazy, but I don't want to play Crowell. So, yeah, I'm steering clear from the Jets offense
'Kay.
pretty much entirely. Herndon's not bad just because he's a tight end.
He's $2,800.
Yeah.
Seattle at Detroit. It's still 48.5 is the over/under, and this is a game that is probably the most. Ravens, Panthers, and Seahawks, Lions are kind of the two that, people are backing, money-wise, are backing the Panthers. But the Seahawks, 57% is on them. It's almost a 50-50 game, right down the middle in terms of where the money is coming in. More people are picking Seattle to cover the +3. As Feinberg pointed out, this seems very pushy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But do you think, 48.5 is a big number? There's a lot of big numbers this week. There's a lot into the 50s, the high 50s. But if you think this game goes over, this could be the sneaky shootout game.
The thing with the Seattle defense, too, is a lot of the numbers suggest, just the raw yardage numbers, suggest they've been a pretty good defense so far this season. But when they've had to play anyone with a pulse on offense, they've been awful. And I think the Lions are perfectly serviceable, probably fringy top 12 offense in football. I just think they'll be able to move the ball on Seattle. And, Russell Wilson...
And we don't have a whole lot of data on what this team is doing minus Earl Thomas. They played the Raiders in London.
Exactly. So I think, too, with Russell Wilson, while I would heavily warn against him continuing these crazy efficiency numbers, I think he's... one of every 8 completions he's thrown this season has been a touchdown. That's not going to keep happening.
Oh, the live alert. Bears line just dropped from 10 to -9.5 again.
We're moving numbers. Great. I kind of like the over here. I don't think it's a bad play.
So, if you were to stack this game, Golden Tate was taken off the injury report. There's no Theo Riddick, so it's going to be a Blunt and Garion Johnson backfield with a dash of Amir Abdullah because he'll be active. On the other side of the ball, everyone's basically healthy. Even Ed Dixon, Alligator Arms Ed Dixon is back. Who, would you punt with him at 2,500?
You could do that in a lineup.
Seattle has shown a propensity to throw to tight ends.
The worry, again, is just that Russell Wilson, I believe Seattle as an organization is averaging 4 fewer passes than any other team in the league this season.
They love running for some reason. They love it.
It's worked
They're
the last couple
addicted
of
to
weeks.
running. So could you play Chris Carson? Whether Snacks plays or not.
I don't mind Carson, yeah.
Carson or Davis?
Carson.
Tim, Carson or Davis?
Carson.
Is he a good start, though?
No, I don't think so. Although I like Seattle in this game. I actually like him pretty comfortably. I still don't know that he's a great start.
Would you play Chris Carson or Peyton Barber?
I'd play Carson.
I'm not playing Barber in almost any circumstance.
At least Carson's shown the propensity to do something with 15 touches.
That's true. If I set the line at 15.5 touches, would you take the over or the under?
I'd take the over.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be 25, but I think he's closer to 20 than he is 15.
All right. What about Mike Davis? 10 to 15?
He sort of seemed like he was the one losing carries to Penny.
But they were up by 24, too.
Yeah, that is true. Look, I think the only thing we can count on for certain at this point is that Chris Carson is going to get a majority of the touches in this backfield. To me, that means he's going to get more than 15. I wouldn't worry so much about what the other guys do unless they start pilfering goal line carries, which is there's a chance that happens, but I think Carson's the only viable one of the 3.
Okay. On the Lions side of the ball, how triggered are people going to be when Garion Johnson doesn't get carries from the 1?
Pretty triggered. I think he's a perfectly fine play, though, this week.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Stafford is... I think he...
Stafford's middle of the pack.
Yeah. But
it's Golladay, then Tate, and then Marv. Though,
yes.
In terms of the... Poor Marv.
It's tough when you got Babytron next to you.
Guess so. All right. What's their tight end's name? Something Roberts? Chris Roberts, maybe?
No, not Chris Roberts. What was his name? Daniel Roberts? Does that sound right?
Maybe. So I thought their backup tight end was Daniel Fells, but apparently it's Roberts. Any interest there?
Not really, no.
We'll learn his first name if he catches a touchdown again today.
Make me learn your name.
Bucs Cincinnati. This is a big one. 54.5. The line has moved from 6.5 to 4. It was down to 3.5 for a while. People really liked the Bucs for a bit just because they didn't think that Tampa Bay was going to blow anyone out. Do you think this is the most stacked game of the week, or do you think the Packers-Rams is?
I think this one will be just because there's more value here. I guess conceivably you could get some value with the Packers at wide receiver. But and I guess even you could take some shots with the Rams. I still wouldn't suggest playing Josh Reynolds. But I just think the price point is going to open up this game to be a little bit more stacked than the other one.
Tim, would you play Dalton?
Would I play Dalton? Yes, I would.
Would you play Dalton or Jameis?
Hard to believe it, but I actually would take Dalton this week.
I think I would take Jameis.
I think I would too.
I would love to have a fantasy team quarterbacked by Dalton this week.
Don't say things like that. Don't be that person. You already cursed my team last week.
I don't know what you mean. Your team is stacked.
Yeah, great.
I was really hoping, although I had money on the Texans on Thursday, I was hoping there'd be some sort of scenario. The one thing that I was really rooting for is that somehow the Dolphins would make the playoffs. and they would re-sign Brock to like $90 million, it would just make me laugh.
They still might.
I don't know if that's on the table, but
The
I'm not
AFC
sure if I'm just saying that because it would hurt me too much.
The 6th seed in the AFC is going to be wide open.
I don't care if they make the playoffs. Just don't sign Brock to any money. God.
So again,
we have a backup.
Just draft a quarterback.
we hit on
God.
this. I mean, what if they draft a receiver to play quarterback? It
Well,
worked
I mean,
out so well last time. Deshaun Jackson has requested a trade. So
That's nice.
who scores more fantasy points this week in a PPR? Deshaun Jackson or Hump Daddy?
I actually picked up and I'm going to play Hump Daddy this week.
I mean, but that doesn't mean anything coming from you. You would play Hump Daddy
Yeah,
any week
Hump,
if given the
Hump
opportunity.
Daddy has been on your team every year for the past 3 years.
I will say he's in a very nice spot. The Bengals have shown a propensity to give up stuff over the middle of the field. Like, slot receiver is a good way to attack there.
Or just play O.J. Howard.
Yeah, that might be the better way to go.
Like, if you were going to triple stack this game, starting with Jameis, who would be the 2 Bucks players?
I would just go
Stack.
Evans and Howard. I wouldn't make it too complicated.
I see. I did. I think I played 3 of
I know
these.
you like Godwin, and I like Godwin.
I
that's
played.
fine.
I just used it as a way to save money to give me access to Gurley and Barkley.
Fair.
And I brought it back with Mixon coming the other way. But I used like Winston, Howard, and Godwin. Winston, Evans, and Godwin. And I think those were the only 2. Because I think I played 2 with the Godwin and O.J. Howard stacks.
Right.
Evans is tough. Evans is expensive. He rarely pays off his price.
It's true. It's true. It's been a couple weeks, at the very least.
If we got into that Godwin territory, would you play like D.D. Well, I guess D.D. Westbrook's already playing. Would you play Chester Rogers or Chris Godwin?
Godwin.
Oh, Godwin. There's a player I wish I owned. Godwin.
Would you play Traquan?
Could you stop doing that? Please stop. Thank you.
Is he playing
It's
you
weird.
this week?
It's weird how well you know my team, considering you're not playing me.
I don't know what you mean.
Would you play Marvin Jones or Godwin? I played Godwin.
Godwin.
Yeah, I think it's Godwin.
Would you play Demarius Thomas or Godwin?
Godwin. I'm not playing.
Oh.
I've sworn off
D-
DT like 4 weeks ago.
I'm all in on DT this week in garbage time. Now you can do well.
Okay, Taylor Gabriel or Godwin?
That's Gabriel, I think.
I would play
Yeah, I
Gabriel.
agree.
Would you play Traquan Smith or Godwin?
Godwin.
I play Traquan.
Godwin, I guess.
I think that game shoots out.
That's fair. Look, they would have similar roles. I would say that Smith is probably a lock to play more snaps than Godwin, unless we truly believe that Dirk Cutter has been morally offended by this trade request and just doesn't play Deshaun Jackson any snaps. But they've shown that Hump Daddy's
is
gonna.
Dirk Cutter a Southern gentleman?
I think he is.
Oh, I did not realize that.
I actually have no idea. I did watch Hard Knocks 2 years ago. You think I'd remember, but no. I think that
Randall Cobb or Godwin?
Godwin. I just think that the Bucks spread the ball a little bit more than the Saints do.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
I
Drake
could see-
could get involved.
Like Traquan could have a 70-yard touchdown. That's on the table.
So
but
could
I
Godwin.
feel like, yeah, so could Godwin.
Godwin.
I would say I'd be surprised if Traquan gets more than 5 targets in
Okay,
this game.
last one, Tim, to you. Lockett or Godwin?
Goodness. Godwin, I suppose.
I like
Correct
Godwin
answer.
in that spot, too.
That is the correct answer.
I mean, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
The betting in this game is coming in. Where are we at here? Bengals. 73% of the cash coming in is on the Bengals this week. Opened at 6.5, went down to 3.5, back up to 4 right now. Second highest over/under of the week. Next game, Washington and the Giants. The Giants are now 1-point underdogs in this game. At one point, this was a pick. This is the most confusing spread I've
Yeah,
seen.
the Giants should be favored, so I still don't.
Why
think
should the
that-
Giants be favored exactly?
Giants are still a decent team, and the Redskins are overrated on the road.
Why are the Giants a decent team?
They have really good players. They have perhaps one of the best wide receivers in the game, probably the best running back in the game.
Yes. End of list. Full stop.
I mean, do we know that the Redskins are overrated on the road? They played 2 road games. They won 1, and one of them was an absolute trouncing of the Cardinals week 1.
In week 1, but the Cardinals
one
are
might not
perhaps-
count.
Okay,
that
then they
much,
played
but-
the Saints at home, and the Saints
No,
are
look,
a top 4 team
I'm
in
with
football
you.
and got blown out.
I just think Washington's a more reliable team of these 2 options. I think Washington is literally the most boring team in the NFL. And I mean that, in this particular sense, I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, I'm
because
shocked.
the Giants suck.
I'm shocked you're not all over the Skins here, Tim. They play your brand of football. Good defense and a very lackluster offense. They have Alex Smith, Alex Smith is like your prototypical, your favorite quarterback.
I do like Alex Smith, but I have backed the Skins a couple times this year, and they have really let me down, and I'm scarred from it, and I don't like that.
When have they let you down? They covered against the Cowboys. They covered against the Panthers. They covered against the Packers.
Against the Saints and against the Colts in particular. Those two games, I really, really liked them in both those spots, and they got blown out. And
so what you're saying is that the fact that you don't like them this week means they're a lock? Like, I just don't understand this spread at all. Maybe I'm the one who's being trapped into this because I think that everyone sees this, except for Tim, the way that you and I do. Like, aren't the Skins just the better teams? That doesn't guarantee they win.
It would just be odd because it's not like this Giants team
is trying to win.
Well, but it's not like their terribleness is sneaking up on anybody. We've been forced to watch this team in primetime like 4 times already this season. Like, you'd think
beware a divisional opponent on the road. Just saying.
That's fair.
But it's not like you're asking them to do anything crazy. You're asking them to win by less than a field goal.
I just think this game smells like a trap, and I think Vegas has got the line out there because a lot of people are going to walk to the counter and bet Washington, and they want all the Washington money.
But here's the thing. I think too many people have thought that way. 57% of the cash is on Washington. That's not a lot.
No, it's not. It's actually much lower than I would have thought.
It's the lowest except for the Seahawks. The Seahawks were at 55.
That's interesting. I mean, I think that's... I'd like to know who the people are walking to the counter and betting the Giants are.
You're the insane people of the world.
I think it's very sharp.
Or people from New York being like, the Giants rule.
I have heard the Giants rule.
Rock. They rock. Everyone I know from it's mainly New Jersey. They really enjoy
Yankees
the Giants.
suck.
They enjoy both the Giants and the Jets, but they enjoy a good like late 80s, early 90s like way of speaking.
That's fair.
After living there,
who among us does
that was one of my observations from living in the Garden State for a little bit, as opposed to living like in the city.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like living like that movie, Garden State.
No.
Real artsy?
That was not really indicative, of my experience in New Jersey.
Do tell.
It was not super artsy. Very angry people.
Yeah,
I believe that more.
You weren't in the artsy part of New Jersey. You weren't in Princeton or like somewhere like that.
No, I was not. I was in Red Bank, New Jersey, where Bon Jovi lives. People love Jovi.
Bon Jovi forever.
Forever. Okay, so they lose Eli Apple. They lose Snacks. Like, AP's going to run wild here, right? At least he should.
So, yeah.
I would think so, yeah.
Because Chris Thompson looks like he's going to play. There's no Jamison Crowder for the Skins. P. Rich is going to play. Vernon Davis has another chance to set the high benchmark. Can you play Jordan Reed anymore? He does nothing.
Through sheer virtue of him being a tight end, you're probably going to have to. But...
Like, where do I even...
Although, even Reed in the sense of where he was being drafted so late, there's a chance you just have another tight end.
I have Reed ranked at number 14.
Yeah.
Tight ends, I would play over.
Uzma.
I would play Olsen, Ben Watson, who has a great matchup against the Vikings. Ebron still.
Sure.
Jimmy Graham, Trey Burton, Uzma, O.J. Howard.
Yeah, that's fine.
The good tight... No, he's secret of the Uzama.
It's Uzama. Anyway.
I'm sorry, who plays quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, Tim?
Mariota?
Ugh.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you don't need to play him. And people get locked in because he's Jordan Reed. That like, oh, you got to play him, you got to play him.
No, you don't have to play him. Giants are going to beat him up.
Why? The Giants just traded away like 2 of their best defenders.
Honestly, that makes me more inclined to pick the Giants in this game.
Interesting.
I like
some Ewing theory here.
Yeah, I like Tim's logic. Take away
the wagons. Circle the wagons. Giants punch back. The world is against them. Sort of like they did a couple weeks ago on Monday night, where they covered that number against the Falcons and almost won the game. Like,
when did they almost win the game?
Yeah, at what point did they almost win that?
They brought it within like a score. Like it was
and had no chance of winning the game.
I thought they.
You live to what? Onside kick and kick.
I don't understand
a 69-yard field goal.
You know what's bad? Bad math is going for 2 to try to win yourself a game. Good math is thinking that you have a high chance of getting an onside kick and then taking it down the field with 5 seconds left in the game.
Onside kicks are basically unrecoverable now that you can't run before the kicker strikes the ball. Like, we haven't seen a recovered onside kick this year. I think there's a good chance we won't see one all year.
I would agree with that.
I just think the best unit in this game is Washington's defense.
I would 100% agree with that.
You can play Washington's D on DraftKings. That's not a bad play.
I have.
Oh, there we go. Would you play the Giants defense? Now that they've lost good players, are they the sneaky defense of the week?
I think we're overrating Eli Apple. Let's focus the goodness on Damon Harrison.
Yeah, but listen, Eli Apple's not great, but who the hell are they replacing him with? That guy can't be good.
I don't know.
It's not like the Mike McCoy situation in Arizona where, well, it can't be worse.
People seem to like Byron Leftwich. Tells it like it is.
You know why? Because he's not Mike McCoy.
Yeah.
That goes a long way. Chris Thompson, can you play him?
Blinded in your Giants hatred. I don't understand it. But anyway.
I wish I was blind, because then I couldn't have to watch them again. Yeah, you can play Chris Thompson. I don't think he's... I would assume with how long he's been out, he's healthy.
Thompson or Richard in a PPR?
Richard.
Tim?
Agreed, Richard.
Jordan Howard or Chris Thompson in a PPR?
Oh, Jordan Howard's having a good day.
That's close for me.
I'd play Howard. Chris Carson or Chris Thompson?
Thompson.
I would actually play Chris Carson in that spot.
I would play Carson as well, but Pat and I like Carson more than most people do.
Alex Collins or Chris Thompson?
Thompson.
I would play Thompson.
Yeah,
LaShawn
Thompson.
McCoy, who looks like he's playing, or Chris Thompson?
Oh, I love LaShawn McCoy this week.
Seems odd.
I
I
do.
would just play Thompson.
I would play
I think this
Thompson
is
as
the
well.
perfect game script for McCoy.
Every game is the perfect
Look.
game script for McCoy. He does nothing.
Right now,
He's the new Frank Gore.
Until he proves it's not, his ceiling is 9 points. So,
Right, we're coming up to the top of the hour here. We got 10 minutes before we start digging in to some of these viewer questions. Also, remember that the sweat is coming up at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the DraftKings YouTube channel and their Facebook page, facebook.com/DraftKings. At least that's what I assume that it is, so I'm going with that. Colts and Raiders. Raiders 3-point dogs at home. Obviously, no Marshawn Lynch. Amari Cooper was traded. I like Richard more than Doug the Pug Martin because he is in second worst place for me.
very fair.
So I hate his guts. You're more objective on this. Do you like Doug Martin?
No,
No?
not at all. No.
Washed?
I think that you just have to look at the role that he's inheriting. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, who was good, but on a bad team, wasn't able to do anything with that role. Why would Doug Martin be able to do anything with that role?
You know what's
My concern is that Gruden may prefer a bit more veteran back, particularly around the goal line, and Martin may end up getting touchdowns.
Oh,
that
sure.
need-
He's
need
the
to
goal
know-
line back. I think you're fair in that assessment, but I don't envision this team consistently working the ball deep into their opponent's red zone. Again, I think with the
Gruden's
team...
such an inventive play caller that he may be able to maximize the talent they've got, but you're right that they certainly, not having Cooper, who I think is a game changer, will make a difference.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic
I don't know either. I actually like the Raiders in this game. The over-under in this game is 51. I think there's going to be points scored.
Okay.
This is Browns Raiders all over again.
I kind of believe that, too. I played a couple the Oakland stack this week, if you can find the right pieces, is so cheap.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can build an all-pro team around it on DraftKings.
Sure.
So the stack that I used the most frequently was Carr, Richard, Martavis Bryant.
Oh, see, I
yeah.
love that. Love it.
Well, now I don't feel so good about it. I mixed Seth
Like,
Roberts
that
into the
is-
mix instead of Richard.
No, no.
Sure.
Because I hate
Brian's the way to go.
I hate Jared Cook, I hate Jordy Nelson, and I hate Doug Martin. The Raiders have collected all the players in the league that I hate.
Yeah, we figured this out on
I'm just
Tuesday.
gonna like the
Yeah.
other guys.
Sure. It really does make your field of vision very narrow.
Yeah, I don't have to go out of my way to fade Jared Cook. I'm not playing Jared Cook.
It's true.
Seth Roberts, that's the money meal. $3,400.
I mean, look, if it hits, it hits.
Objectively, I think Martavis Bryant's a pretty decent play.
Sure, I agree. I don't know how we couldn't envision him getting somewhere in the realm, at least 7 to 8 targets, right?
So I have him ranked at number 37 in the wide receiver rankings. Tim, would you play your main man, Jermaine Anderhurst, or Martavis Bryant?
Bryant, for sure.
I think I would still play Curse. Would you play Sammy Watkins or Martavis Bryant?
I would play. Ooh, I love Sammy, but I would play. I don't know. That's right. That's the spot. That's it right there.
Broke Tim. Who would you play? Would you play Watkins or Bryant, Garion?
I would play Bryant.
Would you play P. Rich or Bryant?
I would play Bryant.
Would you play Tyler Lockett or Bryant?
Bryant.
Tony Miller or Martavis Bryant?
Bryant.
Yeah, I would play Bryant too. Where do I have Seth Roberts ranked? I have Seth Roberts ranked at number 46. Would you play Marquise Goodwin or Seth Roberts?
I'd still probably play Goodwin.
I'd play Seth Roberts. Goodwin stinks.
I mean, you
What are
might
the
not be
chances
wrong.
of someone you've never heard of catching a touchdown today for the Raiders?
What's that? Oh,
What are the-
I'm going to go look at their dead. That would be probably the move of the century. First,
Just find the most random
just
name
find the
on their
most
depth chart.
random
Find
Raider.
Insta Raider.
I mean, are Insta Raiders still a thing with Gruden? Because I feel like it may have switched over.
Yeah,
to
they're all too old. Like, oh, I remember that
Yeah, like
guy.
I know that name.
Yeah,
the
it's a
Bills have
different
a
sense.
collection of guys no one has ever heard of.
Yes.
Although we'd all know about Kroom
So
now.
we'll call him Cruz.
Kroom. All right, here's some guys that are potential just to
pass
do.
the
Oh,
Cardinals.
apparently DeAndre Washington's back. I did not realize that. Keith Smith could have a touchdown. Remember when they started giving him goal line carries instead
Sure.
of Marshawn Lynch?
Sure.
Dwayne Harris is on this team, apparently. There is a rookie receiver named Marcel Aitman. Wonder what his odds
Yeah,
are.
these are
that-
all
that
people.
would
Oh
be
my
a-
God! And they still have Brandon LaFell Sexwell.
They do. Has he addressed?
I don't think so, but he
Okay.
might now.
Sure.
There we go. There are plenty of options. Maybe they should throw A.J. McCarron in the game. Who knows? I don't mind Carr as a DK play, though. If there's like cheap loser quarterbacks, some people are playing like Joe Flacco. I'd rather play Derek Carr. I just think that when you have the Colts on the other side of the field and their pace is so high, that's going to suck along the Raiders too, because they're not going to run the ball a ton unless they get up in this game, and they're 3-point dogs for a reason. And even if it's close, I just think that they pass a ton.
That's fair.
Marlon Mack. Looks like he's going to play.
Like I said, he's a fine RB2.
So you play him?
Yeah, you just play him.
I think I have him ranked at 14.
Yeah, I mean, we did see this script already with the Browns, and the Colts run more plays than the Browns and at a quicker pace. Oakland has just really slowed down the last couple of weeks. Like, they are the slowest team in football across the last 3 years.
Except for when they, I mean, that London game is, it seemed like they just wanted to get the hell out of
they
London.
turtled something fierce on that one.
But like,
Turtle.
Jesus
It
Christ.
is.
If we look at their like pace stats, I'm going to pull them up right now. I feel like they were the
Start
team.
coughing soon.
Yeah, he needs to go for a sig break here before we get to Q&A period. Remember, smash the like button. We can go like an extra 5 minutes too to answer your Q&As because if you're not enthralled. Good God, man, get it together.
I'll go on mute.
Oakland, right now, yeah, they have significantly slowed down. They play really fast in the second half, and they play really fast when they're down by 7 or more. They're both top 10 in terms of pace in second half play calling and when they're down by 7 or more, which tend to go hand in hand for the Raiders.
That is a script I could see happening.
If you're going to build a stack, like that Carr Oakland stack I talked about, who do you bring it back with? T.Y. or Mac? Because I did it with both.
I think I'd prefer to bring it back with Ty. But yeah, I have no problem with Mac. I just think I'm more of the position where in a season-long setting where your options are limited, I'm fine with Mac as an RB2. I don't think I'm necessarily seeking him out in DK this week.
Yeah, he's only a part of that game stack for me.
Sure.
I wouldn't go play him independently in a lineup, but I think just to get pieces of that game is where you would want to go to.
Sure.
In terms of money coming in, all the money is on the Colts. All of it. No one is I picked the Raiders. I think, Tim, you picked the Raiders, right?
I love Oakland in this game. Yeah.
Over 80% of the money is coming on them. Very quickly, 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are both mine and Jeff's super lock of the week. They are now plus 1.5. The money just keeps piling in on the 49ers.
That's so weird.
That's always
Why?
fun. I don't know, 65% of the money on the 49ers at plus 1 or
What have
minus
the
1.5.
Niners done to prove that they can win this
It's-
game to anyone?
They lost to Arizona at home 2 weeks ago. Means they're due to win in Arizona
No,
this
it's
week.
just a pure play against a bad Cardinals team was the worst team in the NFL.
What?
The Niners might be in the running for that position.
the Niners went.
The Bills are very clearly the worst team in the NFL.
The Niners
That
went
is
12 rounds with the Packers on Monday
Why
night.
do you
the
think
Packers are an
good?
average at best team.
I don't think the Cardinals could do that with them. I don't think the Cardinals could do that with anybody. Like, that to me is all I need to see.
Anyway, David Johnson. Is he better or worse with Byron Leftwich? Can he be worse?
I think we're at a point where it would have to be better.
Could you play a David Johnson Cardinals D stack here?
Yeah, I think that's viable.
Breda looks like he's going to play in this game.
Yes.
But he's going to be on a pitch count. Tim? Breda or Mozart?
Mozart.
Garion? I have them back-to-back in the rankings because I'm a coward.
I guess I would just say
I have Matt Breda
Mostert's-
by 1 spot.
I would say Mostert just because there is the, at this point,
Watch it
high
be
probability. Let's hope not.
Yeah. But like,
For his sake, though, I'd like to see David Johnson go off in this game. Like, I'd like to see him
Look,
return.
he's been perfect. Aside from the Thursday night game where seemed like he was in a smash spot. I mean, he had gone all 6 weeks, finishing somewhere between like RB7 and RB19. Like, he's never really been bad. He just hasn't had a huge week yet.
Packers
Well, that's
Rams.
what I mean. I'd like to see him have a huge week.
Yeah.
Packers Rams, last game of the main slate. 57 is the total. This is down to 8. 8 points. Because
I think
the
that-
money can't stop coming in
Well,
on Green
there's-
Bay.
Well,
Really
the
no
stat,
difference between
of the
9.5.
week Well, that's true too. But the stat of the week that you heard on every single ESPN talk
I
show the
love the
entire
Rams in
week
this
was
game,
just,
to cover the spread.
Aaron Rodgers has never been this big an underdog. It's like, it's not about Aaron Rodgers. It's about the Packers can't stop anyone on defense.
So here's the thing: when it was
No, but
Packers,
see, that's
when it
silly
was
because it actually is about Rodgers. Because the only thing that affects the spreads is quarterback.
please be quiet. Earlier in the week, 9.5, 85% of the money went on the Packers. 85%, and they finally dropped it. They left it out there for a very, very long time. It dropped to 9, and then 8.5, and it was still 75, 70%. It's down to 8, and it's still 58% of the money coming in on the Packers at this number.
I like the Rams.
I like the Rams.
The Packers are already a public team, so you have to take that into consideration whenever you look at one of these lines.
And you got Rodgers.
And again, I just think that everywhere you turned on any sports channel you were watching, you heard that stat. And I just think enough people were like, yeah, that's a good point. That line's too big. It's not. The Rams are easily the best team in football. They cannot be stopped on offense. And the Packers have a terrible defense.
Tim, would you say that the Rams offense is an object at rest?
It cannot be stopped.
Cannot be stopped.
But at the same time, we've seen the Rams not cover a couple of big numbers too the last 3 weeks. So
They've also been on the road. They've also been on the road for each of the past 3 weeks.
That's a fair point. I'm just saying, like, this Rams team is really good. They and the Chiefs are 1 and 1A. You pick them in the order you want, but I think that the number is a bit big. And if you're going to give me this many points with the Packers and with Aaron Rodgers, I'll maybe never get it again. So I'm just going to take it.
Woods or Cooks?
Woods. But I think both
Woods.
are incredible plays.
They're tough plays, though. Like, if we just talked about, like, Goff is a bit of a risky play because Gurley might score all the touchdowns.
Yeah, but look, their implied team total is still 33 points.
Sure, that's all Todd Gurley points.
Well, he's still been limited to 3 touchdowns per game.
Could you play Rams D? Packers have a horrible O-line. Rodgers loves getting sacked and fumbling.
I think he could.
Play it with Gurley?
Look, my concern would just be getting too excited about this Rams defense based upon a game where, again, the Niners are awful. And that was the first time all season we've really seen their pass rush be effective. I think you can do it. I just don't expect huge 20-point performances from the Rams defense. I think you were right when we talked about this in September. Like, they're not a bad defense, but they're not good.
I heard they were a generational defense.
Too. Siege did
many
come on the
times,
show.
yes.
Siege came on the show and said they were the best defense in 20 years. Not true. I mean, that was true that he said that.
Yes.
He was factually incorrect about that. Okay, before we get to the questions, power rank the skill options non-Rodgers division for the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to go Adams.
Yes.
Allison.
Yep.
Cobb, Graham.
I might have Graham over Cobb.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Jamal Williams.
Ty Montgomery. Jamal Williams.
Yeah, you know what? I would have Ty above Jamal, too.
Ty might outscore Aaron Jones. Tim, how would you rank them?
Like you did, but I would have Ty ahead of Graham, too. I hate Graham.
Okay. Gary?
I mean, I don't like Jimmy Graham, but I would have Graham third, then I would have Cobb. And then, yeah, the running backs, as you had it, I would. Yeah, I'd have Ty over Jamal. Jamal really hasn't done anything.
Yeah, and if they're going to be passing,
Yeah.
which we expect, then you might see more Montgomery. Let's say goodbye to the podcast viewers first. I probably don't need to look. I don't need to look into the camera for this, but if you are on iTunes and listening to this after the fact, please rate, subscribe, give it 5 stars, and remember, if you want your questions answered, tune in to the YouTube channel every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time or 10 a.m. Monday morning, where I will be here at this desk with Chris Meany talking about the pickups and recapping the games. See you later. Let's keep it on YouTube and get to the question and answer period. Tim, very quickly, in case people missed it, your thoughts on AP this week?
It's an AP week.
All right, John Brown or Doug Baldwin. I would play John Brown.
Yeah, I'd play John Brown, too.
I would play Baldwin, I guess.
All right, in his PPR league, would you play Brendan Cooks or Marlon Mack? I would play Brendan Cooks.
Cooks. I agree.
Cooks.
Someone offered me Diggs and Olsen for Hilton and Howard. This is the only trade question I'm going to answer, because that's for the Monday show where we take the trade questions and the ad drops, where we do not answer start sits, because this is supposed to be for the start sits. We'll answer this one. Which one would you like?
I want the second half.
Yeah, I think I would
the
just
second
want
half,
Hilton.
too.
Although I like Diggs.
I like Diggs.
Diggs is a nice buy low.
I don't know if I'd be trying to acquire Greg Olsen right now.
Well, I mean, if you say that Diggs and Hilton are a push, let's say, and maybe
Yeah.
Hilton's a little bit better, Howard's more valuable inherently than Olsen.
Yes. I like you said, I think definitively I would want Howard over Olsen, and I think the other two guys are a push. So
T.Y. Hilton or Tyler Boyd this week?
Hilton.
I think I like
Hilton.
I think I like Boyd better. I always like Hilton at home better than I like him on the road.
It's fair. The numbers have tended to show that out.
Tim, O.J. Howard or Trey Burton? Because the weather with Burton scares me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Trey Burton. I pick him week after week, and I'm not getting off that train.
I like O.J. Howard here. I think O.J. Howard is good. I have them back-to-back in the rankings. I think they're both
Well,
top.
I think O.J. Howard's good, too. I just think that Burton is better with and without Robinson. It's fine.
Do you have a take on it? Howard or Burton?
I think it's Howard.
Oh, there's a guy in the chat who's big up in the Finns. There you go, Garion.
All right, I guess I'll have to go back to Hall monitoring.
You know what? This is the Sunday to be up on the Finns. I will say that.
Yeah, can't lose.
Can't lose. Best Sunday of the year.
Let's see. Would you play
Oh, there's mine.
Juju, Beckham, or Evans? I guess is the DraftKings
Juju,
question.
Beckham, or Evans.
I like Juju for
I
his
like
price.
Juju a lot too. I would say, to be honest, I have a lot more shares of Juju than either of those two guys.
Me too.
so-
I have a bunch of shares of Juju. I have minimal amounts of Evans because of Tampa stacks and none of Beckham.
Yeah, I don't have any Beckham.
I think Beckham is the way I would play it.
But
Look, he might. If everyone's like us, he might have the lowest ownership total because people are afraid of Josh Norman. But I just.
I'm not even afraid of that. I'm just afraid of this offense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In general, I don't like pieces of this offense that aren't Barkley. He's probably the number one receiver on this team.
Oh, absolutely he is.
So-
I think that's without question he is. Unless you're like Tim and just love the Giants this week, just giant stacks all around. And
I picked the Giants like every single week this year. I can't help myself.
how's that turned out for you? What are they, 2-5 against the spread?
Like that. You like the Giants and Raiders week after week. I just keep picking them.
You gotta love those very progressive front offices.
Well, whatever. You can't think like that when you look at the numbers. You just think, how do I think the game is going to roll out?
And how's that been working out?
It has its ups and its downs.
All right. Remember, smash that like button. We can get to more and more and more questions. Next week, this guy says next week Osweiler will shred the Jets. This guy's going on timeout because he's not.
Burner account?
It sounds like a
might
Tim.
be a Tim Burner account.
Tim Burner
Also,
has-
remember, people, next week the clocks go back, so don't tune into the show at the wrong time.
I mean, I have to show up at the show at the right time for that to happen too, because I'll forget. Funchess over Allison in a standard league? No, I would play Allison.
I play Allison too.
Allison.
Howard or Olsen? I like O.J.
Howard.
Howard.
David Johnson, the Drake, and no, that's a trade question. No trade questions, please. Do I flex Gabriel or Shady/Ivory?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. No, Shady. Sorry, Shady.
I think I would take the running back in that spot. If you have both, then you can wait. You can afford to wait.
I guess.
And
I-
it does look like Shady's going to play.
Yes, I'd still just play Gabriel.
I'll play Shady there. Collins or Richard in standard?
In
I
standard.
think I would still play Richard. It's a bad
No,
matchup
they
for
are going
Alex
to play
Collins.
Collins.
The Panthers' run D is actually
Yeah,
quite
it's-
good.
Yeah, let's just go with Richard.
Richard it is. Jordan Howard, Chubb, or Chris Thompson? Pick one.
Jordan Howard.
Sit one.
Jordan Howard.
Oh, Chubb.
You would say Chubb of that bunch? I'd say Chubb is by far the safest of those.
I would
two.
probably at that point.
Jordan
sit-
Howard's the safest this week.
I would say Jordan Howard's never the safest any week.
He
In a,
is this week.
in a standard, you're probably sitting Chris Thompson.
Yeah, I'd say Chris Thompson as well in the standard. Carryon Johnson or Philip Lindsay? I would play Philip Lindsay.
I'd play Carry On.
Carry on.
I mean, Philip Lindsay, if there's one thing that he will get this week, probably, the goal line touches.
Yes, that is true.
And Carryon will
But
not.
only like 12 carries, according to Garion. If that.
No, that was me.
Yeah, I was pro Philip Lindsay, just not.
Oh,
just higher
sorry.
on Carry On Johnson.
I took a shot at the wrong person.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're-
friendly fire.
This guy asked, where is Tim Andercust?
I'm in your television screen.
Yeah, he's in there. He's trapped in the screen, looking like a crazy person. Pick one to flex for DraftKings: Richard, Chubb, or Carryon. I would take Chubb. In this situation, if you're playing in a tournament, you need to take the guy that has the highest. Like when you think about range of outcomes, the range of outcome for Carryon Johnson means he needs to score touchdowns from like 20 yards out, and that will be highly valuable. But it's also far more unlikely.
Chubb is the most likely to score 2 touchdowns in this game.
That's the thing. Plus, Chubb might still get 20 carries, too. So if he breaks a big one, and he gets all the goal line work, his path to the most DraftKings points is there. That would be my take on it.
fair. I think I'd play Carry On, but I understand your logic. It's foolproof logic. I just would rather take the better player at this point.
Cooks or Mack?
Cooks.
Cooks. Torrey Smith. Well, I guess that's probably not Torrey Smith because he's out. Jarvis Landry or Traquan Smith? I would play Landry.
I'd play Jarvis Landry.
Tim?
Yeah, Landry, I suppose.
You suppose?
Nah, I don't think it's going to be a very good game for them. So, I would, but I'm not expecting much.
Diggs or McCoy? I'd play Diggs.
Diggs.
McCoy. Diggs is yesterday's news.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched television, but everything sticks to his hands, Tim.
This guy asked if Vernon Davis is a viable play at tight end this week at 2,800. I would rather just play Herndon, to be perfectly honest with you.
Or like it.
That's a fair way to go.
Or just drop down and play some Eddie Dix. Big Dix. All right, this guy. Oh, there's also the rule in the chat, and I'm going to institute this right now. If I see you asking the question more than once, you're getting banned for life. That's just how it's going to have to work out, because there's one guy just filling all of this up. Now, I hadn't said that yet, so now you know.
I don't know if this changes your philosophy
If
at
I
all.
see the same question pop up twice from the same person, banned for life.
That's fair. I don't know if it changes your philosophy on the Denver backfield at all. We have reports that Lindsey, who had been playing special team snaps, will not play special team snaps today.
That's probably for the best. You probably don't want your starting running back also playing special teams.
I would say that. That was Carson, wasn't it not?
Yeah, but he actually wasn't playing special teams.
No, he did play special teams.
No. Pete Carroll said he was tired from playing special teams, but as it turned out, he wasn't actually playing special teams.
Oh, I thought he actually did.
Yeah, it was just a conspiracy. It's like Tower 7.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine Pete Carroll would be involved in any conspiracies.
Jets D or Detroit's D? I like
Detroit.
Detroit's D.
I would say Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like the Jets this week. Jets are a bad team right now.
Standard League, Dalton or Russ? I would play Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton. Dalton's having a huge...
Now, those standard quarterback
if it was
leagues.
PPR, then now we're dealing with some Russell Wilson action here. You might catch a touchdown. Who knows? In a two-quarterback PPR format, would you trade? No trade questions. Fuck off with your fucking trade questions, you pieces of shit. Christian McCaffrey or Philip Lindsay in standard? I play McCaffrey still. That's really close though.
In standard?
Yeah, you know what? It might be Lindsay.
I might play Lindsay.
It might be Lindsay.
I'm never benching Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry.
He does play every snap.
But
Yeah, I'm just never
how's that working out?
Lately, not
He's
great.
having a pretty good year.
In PPR, yeah. Not in standard.
Yeah, you know what? Play Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. Well, thanks for talking me off that. Latavius or Chubb? I'd play Latavius.
Me too. He's just the better of the exact same running back.
Yeah, I guess so. No, I don't like either of them.
Eric Ebron, Gronk, or Shane Falco?
Gronk. Can you imagine?
One of them has miles and miles of
Falco?
heart.
And one of them won, or really let everyone down in the Sugar Bowl.
It's the same guy.
It is the same guy. I play Gronk.
I would also play Gronk.
Cobb or Mostert in half-point PPR? I play Cobb.
Cobb.
Need one for a flex. Chris Hogan, Buck Allen, or Martavis Bryant?
Martavis
Play
Bryant.
Chris Hogan.
Hogan is super sneaky this week, by the way. Showdown.
Sure,
He's more of a
sure.
showdown play.
Yeah.
You can't really trust Chris Hogan. But if we go underneath the logic that White's going to lock down Gordon and Gronk is kind of banged up, you have Jules to run around all by himself. You have White to catch out of the backfield, and then Chris Hogan in a revenge situation,
Sure.
standing there by himself in the end zone.
Yeah, but I would agree with you. That level of sneakiness is mainly reserved for showdown, I would think.
Vikings fan here, this guy says. I am here to trigger Tim. Kirk Cousins rejected you, loser.
Okay, enjoy paying him $100 million more than our quarterback who's 21, and by definition will have a better career. Anyway,
You might have to give him a contract extension early just so he feels wanted and validated.
It's also not $100 million more. I think Kurt signed 3 for 90 something, and it's not like they're getting Sam Darnold for free.
Yeah.
These days, it's pretty much free. Enjoy your overrated, quarterback.
Did you see the clip I put out on Twitter this week where you were just so
Yeah.
fired up for Kirk Cousins?
Yes, but we've addressed this before, so you put that up in bad faith because it's not like I haven't actually, rescinded that view. I held it at the time. I don't hold it now.
Because he didn't sign with the Jets.
Just because you don't show both sides, you just show your side. It's by your fake news.
I didn't even say anything during it. It's you who's talking about it. I asked you a question.
Yeah, but you put it out to be fake news.
I like it. He's starting to learn the Trump way of speaking.
I mean, if we're just going to be fair to him, if we're just going to call him just asinine things, he might as well start embracing himself as that. Because we're not going to change.
I suppose that's true. I mean, he was once called the Steve Bannon of the Pat Mayo
I
experience.
like to think he still is.
Reject that name.
That really has not changed. You guys kind of look alike, too.
No, we don't. I
Hey.
reject that name completely.
Is he your son?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I don't wear button-downs underneath my button-downs.
Do you own a button down?
I own many button-downs.
There, if people want to see it, go to Twitter right now. I'm going to retweet it.
Please don't.
Boom. There we go. All right. Have you seen what the Steelers did to their logo? I don't care. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm gonna finish this question now that I've read the rest of it. Have you seen what the Steelers did to their logo today, and how much of a motivational factor will yesterday be for them?
I actually do believe in motivation for these sorts of things. I actually think it could make a difference.
I like that you're able to quantify that now.
You can't quantify it, but we are dealing with human beings who are not quantifiable by their nature. But
how do you know they're not really bummed out?
You don't, but you can't mathematize all of these things.
But then you just don't play. You don't put it into the equation at all. You can't.
No, but if you are looking at this with eyes, which is all I have to see it with, then I suspect that those types of raw emotions do bear on people. The idea that it doesn't, or that you have to throw it out, I don't take that as serious. I think you have to sometimes bear in mind.
You have to throw it out because you have no idea how it's going to impact. It's like when Sean Taylor died, everyone's like, "Oh, Redskins going to dominate the Bills," and the Bills beat them in Washington. And the Bills were terrible that year.
I'm not saying.
I think we tend to remember the games where
Brett
a
Favre's
team
dad
did
dies and
rise
he
up
throws 4
yeah,
touchdowns.
we don't
Or
really.
New Orleans beats Atlanta by 1,000,000 points when they open up the Superdome.
Sure, because these are great sports narratives. That's why we remember them. We don't remember the games that these didn't come through.
That is not a narrative. It's a fact.
No,
on the ground.
but
I'm saying it's a story, and that's why we remember it. It's a very
It bothers
good
me because
story.
people misuse the word narrative because they don't really know what it means, and they throw it around because they think it sounds
Well,
clever.
A narrative means a tale that we tell.
The narrative of
But
this
it's not a
situation is
tale,
that
but
the
it's
team
not.
will be motivated to play well. What Garion is saying is that when you have these circumstances and the team doesn't play well, no one tends to bring those up.
Well, and that's fine.
So you're
but if they do play
only remembering it in a positive way.
But if they do play well, you will have people very cheaply saying, "Oh, it's just narrative to say that affected them." When I don't think that it's narrative at all. That's a misuse of the word. It's a fact that it inspired.
This is really dragging down the fact that we're supposed to be answering questions. No one gives a fuck about this.
They do.
No, they don't. Yeah, this one guy doesn't. Apparently, you do, and no one cares about what your fucking definition of narrative is. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, how dare they?
Kittle or Burton?
Kittle.
I like that I've won. Kittle.
You won what? You decide.
That's how I know I've won the argument.
No, we're trying to move on because we have 15 minutes left here. And I want to get some questions. If you want to slow the show down, and we will get into this, we can. You have said that Pittsburgh is going to win today because something bad happened yesterday.
That's not what I said.
Then what are you saying?
I said it can be a contributing factor.
It can be, but what sort of contributing factor will it be?
I think it'll be.
You have no idea. That's why we cannot factor that in.
That's your opinion. Let's move along.
No, you tell me how it's going to factor, please. I want to hear this. I want to hear the breakdown of how you think this is going to positively affect their output. And how can we even say that? Let's say they're 8.5-point favorites right now, right? So let's say they win by 9 points. How did this play in?
These are the sorts of things that can't be proven, and a lot of things can't be proven. They just happen.
Then why do we have to talk about it?
Well, because it's not inconsequential.
But it is inconsequential because we have no idea. Even after we get the results, we'll have no idea.
Well, that's what people will say, and I think that's not fair.
Why?
Will.
So if they lose, is it because of that too?
No, not necessarily.
Then why not? Then if they win, why is it because of it?
The idea that we can't quantify it, therefore we can't talk about it, is just a profound misunderstanding of the human condition, and I don't like it.
Yes, but But even you just said if they win, people will attribute it to that, even partly so, and if they don't, they won't.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. That means that, like you said, we're just and I agree with you. Sports is a nice thing that brings us together. It unifies a lot of people. It's a happy, generally thing. You want something to mean something more than it is, and you want to attribute that the Steelers came through for their community. I get that. I have no problem with people creating that narrative, but it's a narrative. You can't attribute the two things. They're not connected.
Well, we shall see what the players say, because at the end.
I'm sure they'll bring it up, and look, they should, because they are staples of that community, especially Pittsburgh.
But you also don't think there's a PR person in that locker room right now telling them what to say during these interviews? Please.
Maybe.
We mean maybe.
But if they say
that's what they are doing.
But
of course they're going to say that. That's what they're told to say.
If they say it makes a difference, then I trust them and I believe them, because you have to believe
But
them.
they're only going to say it if
all
they win.
All the players on the Browns leading up to the game tell you they're going to win the game. They're probably not going to win the game.
Look,
and they probably don't believe that.
But if they,
I find this type of cynicism unhelpful. Let's just move along.
What sort of cynicism?
I'm saying if they lose, would a Steelers player in a loss say, you know what, I'm sorry, it was just too emotional a weekend. We let our emotions get the best of us. There's bigger things than football. and we just couldn't all concentrate as a team. No
well,
one's
there
going to
have
say
been
that.
examples in the past of players doing that. Yes, maybe not in this instance, but there have been examples where players say, "I'm sorry,
Look,
I let you down."
again, this will only be a storyline if the Steelers win, and just through that sheer fact, that means that it can't really be a contributing factor. Because if they lose, no one's going to be talking about this.
I think they may still talk about it, but we'll see.
You keep saying may. It might. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the only
A
language
bird might come steal the football. That could have an impact on the game, too. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it
We
might.
can only talk about this in conditional language, unfortunately. That's all the facts admit for.
Anyway.
Glad that really derailed us for 10 minutes. Blame Tim on Twitter and send him pictures of peacocks for getting the show disrailed if you don't get your questions answered. Cam or Jameis?
Jameis.
Jameis.
Funchess or Shepard?
Ew.
Funches.
Shepherd?
Funchess.
Shepherd.
All right. Kittle or Burton?
Kill.
Kittle.
Kittle.
Boyd or Landry? PPR.
Boyd.
Boyd for me as well. Gabriel or Galladay?
Galladay.
Do people not treat Galladay like he's awesome?
He had a bad week. I'm not saying that's why you should not trust him.
He had the touchdown
But
called back after making an amazing catch too.
yeah, but it was just the volume wasn't there last week.
Geronimo or Ebron? I played
Geronimo.
Yeah, I would play Geronimo too.
Hilton or Sanders on DK? I play Hilton.
Hilton.
Sanders, I guess, to be a little contrarian.
Is Cobb out? No. It looks like he's playing. That's also a later
You also
game.
know it's true you won't.
You won't know
in 9
until
minutes,
later,
yeah.
but he's trending towards playing. Is anyone chancing the Bears' passing offense with the weathers today?
I would
You
just
play your
say
guys.
play your guys. If in DK, if you want exposure to the Bears' passing game, I wouldn't do it through Trubisky. I would just do it through Gabriel
Or
Cohen.
shorter
Again,
passing?
you can play Burton. I think that's fine. But I wouldn't.
But what did you say? It's 18-mile-per-hour winds tops?
Apparently, it's steady at 20.
Okay, so that's bad.
There's 35-mile-per-hour gusts.
Ooh. Gusts aren't super effective in this.
No.
You need to see what the baseline is.
I just like the word gust.
Fair enough. Are you sitting all your Bears, Tim?
No, he
No,
thinks they're
of
going to score
course
35
not.
points.
What's that?
I think the Bears have a chance to be the highest scoring team this week.
Mixon or Hunt? I like Mixon.
Hunt. I think Hunt's like my staple play this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Tim?
I like Hunt.
Okay. Traquan or Richard in the flex? I play Richard.
I would play Richard as well.
I think I play Traquan there.
Okay. Jimmy Graham or Njoku?
Njoku.
Njoku.
Duke, Crowell, or Kirk in a PPR?
Duke.
I play Crowell.
Kirk.
Sammy Watkins or Geronimo Allison in standard? I play Allison.
Yep.
Yes. Allison. Close though.
Gordon or Latavius Murray? I think that's Latavius Murray, and it's not close.
Yeah, I agree.
McCaffrey or Lindsey? We did this one already. If I see this guy pop up again, blocked for life. We said Lindsey in the standard. McCaffrey in a PPR?
McCaffrey in a PPR.
And Tim would just play McCaffrey either way?
Yeah, I would always play McCaffrey pretty much.
Okay. Lindsey or Nick Chubb or Tariq Cohen, sit one. I would sit Chubb in that circumstance in a PPR.
Yeah, agreed.
If it was standard, I would sit Cohen.
I would agree with that too.
But Tim would not.
No, I would not.
Winston or Breeze?
Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze.
Vance or Ebron in standard? I would play Ebron still.
Yeah.
Agreed.
McCaffrey or Lindsey in stand? Nope. Back-to-back questions, banned for life. Should I wait on Marlon Mack or just play Chubb? I think you just play Chubb.
That's fine.
They're so close.
They're essentially the same guy.
I kind of prefer Mac, but I get what you're saying.
I would agree with you. If I knew Mac was 100% healthy, I would play Mac, but they're so close. Just play the guy you know is definitely going to play.
Gabriel or Baldwin half point? Baldwin.
Baldwin, yeah.
Yeah, Baldwin.
Geronimo or Ebron? I would play Geronimo.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Pick two. Njoku, Ebron, or Richard? I would just sit Ebron there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan Howard or Kenyon Barner?
Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard. Landry or John Brown?
Huh.
Landry.
I would still play
No,
Landry.
John Brown.
I'd play Landry by a hair.
If it's look, I think this one is one of those. If it's a PPR, play Landry. If it's a standard, play John Brown.
Full point PPR, would you play Crowell or would you play Mr. Rocket Richard?
I'd play Richard.
I would play Crowell.
Crowell in that spot.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to have so much work that there are points in fantasy we're going to have.
Captain Kirk or Colonel Mostart?
Captain Kirk.
Mostert there.
No Sherman? Maybe Sherman?
Look, I don't dislike Kirk in any way.
I'll take Christian Kirk in that spot.
Okay.
Winston or Breeze standard. Is that the same guy who asked it before? It's not the same guy. Lucky guy. Can you please rank these running backs? I have rankings. You can just go look at those. They're in the description. Doug Martin or Latavius Murray standard?
Latavius.
Latavius.
Murray.
Particularly
Doug
close.
Martin is never.
Latavius Murray or Traquan? Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that one guy I deleted a message from, just all over the place asking the same question. Pick 3. John Brown, Golden Tate, Gabriel, and Hilton. You're sitting Gabriel.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So Brown, Tate, and Hilton.
Yep.
Mack or Richard? I'd play Mack.
Mac.
Diggs or McCaffrey in standard? I'd play Diggs.
I would agree with that.
I play McCaffrey.
Okay. Martin, Breda, or Cannon?
Breda,
That's
I guess.
probably Doug.
Probably Breda.
I think
Doug is worst place. So you're not playing.
That's
Pat's
fair.
not starting-
I
unless
just
you
think
ask
Doug.
him Ingram versus Martin. He's not going to pick Martin.
That's fair. I just think Doug gets more touches than Brady this week.
Keenum or Alex Smith?
Oh boy.
Keenum, I guess.
Keenum, yeah. Just the higher
I
ceiling.
ain't Keenum.
Pick 1. Godwin, Marvin Jones, or Traquan? I play Godwin.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Funchess, Fitz, or Jordan Howard? I play Jordan Howard.
Jordan
Howard.
Jimmy Graham or Njoku? Njoku.
Joku.
You touched the Lions Seahawks game, but is Baldwin playable in DK? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
probably
think so
fine.
too.
What are you guys' favorite QB plays in? No, in Gunslinger Shootout.
Week 8, they don't learn. They just don't learn.
Aaron Jones or Doug Martin?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Mozart, Allison, or Sneed at the flex? Allison for me.
Allison, yeah.
Sneed.
Jordan Sneed, really?
Yeah.
I can't catch. We saw that last week.
There'll be opportunities.
Jordy or Gabriel? Gabriel.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I'm
your
gonna
boy-
go Jordy here.
Your boy
I like
Greenwich
the
just
Ravens
missed a
score.
touchdown.
No. What's the score of that game?
17-6.
For who?
Eagles.
Oh, so the 6-3 lead did not hold.
No.
However, the kicker that the Chargers cut last year in the preseason on the Jaguars hit too
50
long to
yeah.
hold.
Siwoo Kim?
No, the guy that they cut for Kim.
Oh, Cohen, Chubb, Phillip Lindsay. Sit 1. I'd sit Chubb in PPR.
And
Yes.
PPR, sure, yeah.
Play Gronk or play Reed? I play Gronk.
Gronk.
Wrong.
Or drop Reed for Uzuma, McDonald, or Doyle. I'd drop him for Uzuma.
Yeah, you could do that, but I would still play Gronk though.
Brown. Oh, he's got to jump. Let's see here. Oh, here's some good ones. They're just one or the others. You ready for this?
Yes.
Winston or Trubisky? Winston.
Winston.
Richard or Mozart?
Ugh.
Richard.
Mozart.
Richard for me. Mike Evans or Adams? Adams.
Yeah, Adams.
Evans.
Howard or AP? AP.
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 Baldwin or Gabriel? DK, GPP? Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Chubb, Murray, Peterson, standard, need 2. I'd go Murray and Peterson.
Agreed.
Yep.
Gronk or Ebron? Gronk.
Wrong.
Olsen or Doyle? I'd go Doyle.
Oh.
Oh, Doyle rules.
I think I'd go Olsen
No, I'm
there.
going to take Olsen.
Okay. Adrian Peterson or Philip Lindsay? That's for Tim only.
Adrian Peterson.
I'd play Philip Lindsay.
I'd play Lindsay.
But it's
an AP.
No one,
Yeah,
no one
they
asked
don't-
us.
yep.
Goff or Cousins? I'd play Goff.
Goff. Yep.
Goff.
Sanders or Boyd, PPR? Boyd.
Boyd.
Tough one.
That is tough.
Boyd.
Galladay or Boyd? I'd play Boyd.
Boyd.
Galladay there.
Chris Thompson or Chubb? It's Chubb in either
Chubb.
format.
Yep.
I like Chris Thompson, but I get it.
So you like Chris Thompson and AP?
No, but I just don't like Boyd. I get it though. Yeah, go with Chubb, I guess.
McCaffrey or Baldwin, PPR?
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Cam or Breeze?
Breeze.
Breeze.
Boyd or Sanders? Sanders. Or sorry, Boyd.
Boyd.
Funchess. Yeah, it was actually from someone different.
Okay.
Funchess or Shepard? Shepard.
Shepard,
yeah.
I guess. Maybe Funchess. That's a tough one.
Vance or Burton? I go Burton.
Burton.
Godwin or Marv? Standard. Godwin.
Godwin.
Hey, Marv.
Marv. Let's see. Howard, Funchess, or Larry Fitzgerald. Pick 1. I'd play Howard.
Howard. Yeah.
Howard.
Jermaine Kearse or Marlon Mack? Mack.
Mac.
Standard League Flex. Boyd, Kearse, or Richard? I play Boyd.
Boyd.
Why do people not want to play Boyd?
I don't know.
It's strange.
I mean,
They're afraid
their
of it.
offense
They're
was just bad last week.
All right,
but-
if we have let's say 10 more likes in the next 30 seconds here. Everyone, actually, you know what? Let's make it, if we're at 215 likes, we can get to 235 likes. We'll do 20 more questions. And this sweat is starting in like 5 minutes, or starting in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So we got to power through these. So if you can get the likes up, then boom, we'll do it. If not, we're doing 5 more. Demarius Thomas or Carry-On? Carry-On.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Chubb or Mozart?
Chubb.
Chubb.
Mozart.
Really?
Okay. Jordy or Gabriel or Mozart or Montgomery?
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Gabriel, I guess, yeah.
Hilton or AJ Green? AJ Green.
AJ Green.
Yeah.
PPR, Mac or Shady? Mac.
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 Sutton or Godwin? Godwin.
Godwin.
Yeah.
Pick 2. Oh, no, like I already asked that question. I have time to ban you. Nick Chubb or Mozart?
Chubb.
Yeah. No,
You
Mozart.
just said Mozart,
I know.
yeah.
That's why I changed. That's why I stopped.
Eli or Bethard?
Oh, Bethard.
Bethard. Ugh.
Bethard.
Gabriel or Godwin?
No, Godwin.
I think Gabriel.
Where do I have them? I had to believe I have them back.
In
then.
DK
I'll go with Gabriel.
Yeah.
Well, the pricing is different.
I was
on
gonna
DK.
say, like, there's like Godwin is a contrarian.
Oh, we got the likes here. Carry on or Howard in standard? Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Trey Burton, Gabriel, or Sutton? I'd play Burton.
Same.
I play Gabriel.
Okay. Burton or Uzma? I play Uzma.
Uzma.
Uzuma.
Greg Olson or hope that Gronk is good for Monday. He says Sunday, but Monday. I'd wait.
Yeah,
for
wait
Gronk.
on Gronk.
Look at those likes.
Diggs or Juju?
Juju.
Juju.
Juju for me. We're getting a lot of Mozart or Chubb. The answer is Chubb. Mozart, Chubb, or Mark Ingram?
Ugh.
Chubb. Chubb or Thompson PPR? Chubb for me still.
Yeah, me too.
Chubb.
Mixon or White?
White.
It's Mixon for me.
It's always white.
Okay.
And you're not Steve Bannon. Sounds exactly like something Steve Bannon would say.
Listen, I get a lot of things wrong. I've been on the James White bandwagon from the very beginning this year, and I'm still on it.
Carry
think you
on.
missed the joke.
Yeah, you did really miss the joke there with James White, Tim. Carry on Johnson or Philip Lindsay in cash?
Carry on, Johnson.
I like Lindsay in
I like
cash.
Lindsay and Cash, yeah.
Pick 2. Carry on Johnson, Nick Chubb, Chris Thompson, or Shady. I go Carry on and Chubb.
I agree.
Carry on and Shady.
Okay. Flash Gordon, John Brown, or Doug Baldwin. Pick 2. I'd sit Gordon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
A lot of Mozart or Chubb again. Cohen, Collins, or Howard. Pick 2. I'd go Howard and
I'm
Cohen.
benching Collins.
Yeah.
You know what? In that specific scenario where you have both Bears running backs, I'd probably play Cohen and Collins. And just hope it's more of a Cohen game than a Jordan.
I guess you could play that way. I would just...
Independently, I do like Howard more than I like Collins.
That's fair.
But you're eating your own tail in that circumstance. Mojo or Anthony Miller? Who's Mojo?
That's a great question.
Reese Jones Drew.
That's what I was... Yeah.
Pray for Mojo. I have no idea. So play Anthony Miller. Galladay or Allison? I play Galladay.
Yeah, me too.
Galladay.
Mark Ingram is the best running back. That guy is being banned for life. Sorry, pal.
You're just asking me at that point.
Man, a lot of Mozart Chubb. Brown, Boyd, Mack. Flex is standard.
Brown, Boyd,
Antonio Brown.
Yes, Antonio Brown.
Probably
If you're
John
not going to
Brown.
list who it's going to be, I'm saying Antonio Brown. And of all the Browns, you get to have whoever it is, you get Antonio Brown. Carry on or Chubb? Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Big Ben or Trubisky?
Big Ben.
Big
Yeah.
Ben for me as well.
Trubisky.
McCaffrey, White, Connor, Mixon. Pick 3. Out of all those guys, I would sit McCaffrey. White, Connor, Mixon.
In a standard?
Full point PPR.
Full point PPR. It's a good problem to have.
Wow.
I might
All right,
sit
that's super tough.
Mixon.
I like them all. Wow.
I'd sit McCaffrey.
I guess and that is a rare spot where I would agree.
Godwin or Sanders? Sanders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mozart or Montgomery? Mozart.
Yep.
Breda, Mark Ingram, Richard.
Mark
That
Ingram.
person should be banned for asking about Mark Ingram.
That's true. Anytime you ask about, if you include Mark Ingram in a question, you're banned off the channel for life.
That's not fair. I'll answer it.
Yeah, fuck them.
Okay.
It's my
no,
show.
no Mark Ingram.
It's my show. Crowell or Marlon Mack? I like Mack.
I like Mac
Crowell.
Vance or Ebron in standard?
too. Ebron.
Ebron.
John Brown or Baldwin? Brown.
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 Let's see. Crabtree, Carson, Deshaun, or Howard? Play Crabtree. Or Carson.
Which Howard?
I think it's Jordan Howard.
I think I'd just play Carson.
I might play Jordan Howard then.
Yeah, that's a really close one. I like the receivers. I always like
That's fair.
receivers in that spot. Aaron Jones or Doug Baldwin? I would play
Doug Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin.
Howard or Uzma? I play Uzma.
I play Howard.
I would play Uzama as well. Yeah.
Rogers or Big Ben? Rogers.
Rogers. Yep.
Yeah.
Funchess or Allison? Allison.
Allison.
Yeah.
Godwin or Gabriel in standard? In standard?
Gabriel.
Standard still Gabriel.
Yeah. Yeah. Gabriel.
John Brown or Baldwin? John Brown.
Yep.
Jared Cook or Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I think I lost too. Colts?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Colts or Ravens D? I like the Ravens D.
Yep.
Colts D.
Now let's see. Edelman or Latavius? Latavius.
Yeah, Latavius. Edelman's trash.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Latavius, but Edelman's fine.
Hilton or Adams? Adams.
Yep.
Crowell
No,
or
I'm Hilton there.
okay. Crowell or Richard in PPR? I like Crowell.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, Crowell.
Juju or Brown? The answer is Brown. In DraftKings,
Yeah.
take the price discount for Juju, but Antonio Brown is the
Yeah,
answer.
in real life, just in a season long, play Brown.
Last one. Brown or no? Someone already asked that. Allison or Baldwin? Baldwin.
Baldwin. Very close.
Yeah, it is really close.
Last one.
Baldwin.
Jarvis Landry or Kenny Galladay?
Galladay.
Galladay for me. Edelman or Baldwin? I like Edelman. In
Yeah.
standard, I would
Baldwin.
like Baldwin. Oh, this guy says, I didn't know the hatred for Mark Ingram. You brought up Mark Ingram. You're banned for life. That will do it on the Pat Mayo experience. I would really like to thank for being on the line despite our heated discussions. He'll be back next Monday. His name is Tim Undercust. I guess we're not doing that. Garion Thorne is here too. Thank you
Yeah, I
for
was
being
going to
here.
say,
I don't have a
I
song.
was waiting for the graphic. That's not my name. And yeah, so it was heated, but things get heated every week. That's what makes the show fun.
This guy says that Allison is out. Is that actually true, or is this guy fake news?
Let's see. I'm just seeing right now that we got Washington in. We've got.
I see nothing. That guy's fake news and
Ban him.
banned for life.
Mac is playing. Breda is officially active. Chris Thompson is officially active. Snacks officially active.
Oh, that's good news. Allen Robinson is inactive. And the Green Bay game wouldn't be out.
Yeah, they wouldn't be out yet.
So that guy is the most fakest of fake news. Poor guy. All right, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Turn over to The Sweat right now on the DraftKings YouTube channel and the Facebook channel. Gary and I will pop back up just a little bit later on in there, probably about 20 minutes or so, for our plays of the day, so you don't want to miss that. Remember, if you just want to catch the first hour of this, download it on iTunes and go for a run or something like that. Be productive on a Sunday before you go feast on food and watch some football. Anyway, good luck in Week 8. I'll see you next time.